Russia fired its top commander in Ukraine, General Sergei Budanov. After he refused to obey orders to launch a massive attack on Kiev, Budanov was replaced by General Valery Gerasimov, the chief of the General Staff, who is known for his aggressive and ruthless tactics. Ukraine welcomed Budanov's dismissal as a sign of Russian weakness and confusion. Russia launched a large-scale drone attack on Kiev, targeting several government buildings, military facilities, and infrastructure sites. At least 4 people were injured and several fires were reported. Ukraine condemned the attack as a war crime and vowed to retaliate. NATO leaders met in Vilnius, Lithuania, to discuss the situation in Ukraine and reaffirm their support for its sovereignty and territorial integrity. They agreed to provide more military assistance to Ukraine, including long-range missiles, air defense systems, and cyber capabilities. They also urged Russia to stop its aggression and respect the Minsk agreements. Companies linked to Yevgeny Prigozhin, a Kremlin-linked businessman and the owner of Wagner Group, continue to win lucrative contracts from the Russian government to provide catering services to various institutions, including schools, hospitals, and prisons. Prigozhin is under U.S. sanctions for his involvement in meddling in U.S. elections and supporting armed groups in Africa and the Middle East. He is also wanted by Ukraine for his role in the war. Russia claimed that the deployment of F-16 jets to Ukraine by NATO allies would be seen as a nuclear threat and would trigger a symmetrical response. This claim is based on a false assumption that F-16s can carry nuclear weapons without authorization from the US. In reality, F-16s are conventional aircraft that can only carry nuclear weapons if they are equipped with special hardware and software that are controlled by the US. Polish doctors visited former Georgian President Mikhail Saakashvili in his hospital room in Kiev, where he is recovering from a heart attack. They confirmed that he is stable and improving, but still needs intensive care. Saakashvili was hospitalized on July 1 after suffering a cardiac arrest, while being interrogated by Ukrainian prosecutors over corruption allegations. Russia said that the presence of F-16 jets in Ukraine as part of a NATO training program would be considered as a nuclear threat and would provoke a symmetrical response. Russia claimed that F-16s can carry nuclear weapons, and that their deployment violates the 1997 NATO-Russia Founding Act. Ukraine dismissed Russia's claims as baseless and said that F-16s are defensive weapons that enhance its security. The author argues that the 1943 massacre of Poles by Ukrainian nationalists in Volhynia remains a sensitive issue for both nations. Because of its historical complexity and political manipulation, he suggests that both sides should acknowledge the tragedy, condemn the violence, and seek reconciliation based on dialogue and mutual respect. The author estimates that Russia has lost at least 98 tanks during its invasion of Ukraine. Based on various sources and reports, he argues that this is a significant blow to Russia's military capabilities and morale, and that for the first time, Ukraine could actually have more tanks than Russia. He also notes that Ukraine has received new anti-tank weapons from NATO allies that could further reduce Russia's advantage. Ukraine reported that its forces killed 770 Russian soldiers and destroyed 3 Russian artillery systems, 9 drones and 9 armored vehicles in the past day. The total combat losses of the Russian forces since February 0 are estimated to be over 31,000 personnel, and thousands of weapons and equipment. The information is being confirmed. Ukraine seized Russian military plans concerning the war against Ukraine from a Russian Marine brigade. The documents were approved on January 18 and revealed that Russia planned to capture Kiev and other major cities within 15 days. The documents also showed that Russia expected NATO to intervene and prepared for a nuclear scenario. This is the main page of Ukrainska Pravda, an online news outlet that covers various topics related to Ukraine, including the war. The page features daily updates, in-depth articles, opinions, videos, and columns on the situation in Ukraine and its relations with other countries. The page also provides statistics on the Russian losses and highlights from the latest news.